Electricity is like a river that runs in reverse. It starts with an ocean of power, and that's where Basin comes in. They're generating that power. So that's where the huge power source is coming out. It gets diverged into a series of transmission lines and substations at that point, and then it flows into small service lines and goes out to the homes and businesses. So what we have to do is we have to start with the biggest source of power when we fix it. So we go to the source. We look to see, is there something wrong with the transmission? The transmission comes into town. It hits one of our delivery substations around. We have 4 delivery substations around Bismarck. And if there's something wrong to that point, we're probably already going to know. So once we get to that point, we need to say, okay, our transmission, the transmission that we own, it comes from that point to our distribution substations. We have to make sure that those are all okay. And so we have everybody out there, looking it over. We get to the substation, make sure all the breakers are on and all that kind of stuff. And then from that point, we just keep getting smaller and smaller, because at every point, if we find a problem in a substation, we know that this whole area is going to be out, and that will get everybody back on at one time. So if we can't figure it out at the distribution substation, then we start going to the individual lines that go into your communities. A lot of people ask, why don't you put underground? If you have lines coming down, poles coming down, why isn't underground built everywhere? Because it's too expensive. It's just too expensive to trench from, for example, if we're going north to Wing or McCluskey, the main line coming off the road, if you were to trench 5 miles of underground cable in there, it's very expensive. And then again, if you did have an outage or a fault in there, it would take a lot to get to it to get it fixed, especially if it's 20 below, the ground's frozen.